The revolution will not be live streamed, and it sure as hell isn't going to unfold through curated infographics and tepid slogans buried in digital noise. You can't scroll your way through liberation. No one's getting free by liking posts or whispering into the void of an algorithm that was never built for us. When 6 people walked into Senator Shelley Moore Capito's office and sat down, refusing to move until someone in power acknowledged the violence being done to their neighbors, their families, and themselves, they weren't performing. They were disrupting. Morgan Fowler, Joe Solomon, Caitlin May, Paul Dalzell, Elizabeth Kearns, Earl Lewis, each one of them stepped into the belly of the beast with full awareness of what it could cost. Not one single one of them chose to beg from outside of the gates. Instead, they went straight to the source of the suffering in this state. The office of the senator who chose to build her career voting away the future of the poor, the sick, the working class people, and said no more. They didn't send press releases or ask for appointments. They didn't live stream the moment or post it to boost engagement. They got in her face, looked the system dead in the eyes, and made themselves impossible to ignore. And for that, they were handcuffed and hauled away. You can call that trespassing if you want. The law does. But be for real, the law in West Virginia and in this country isn't built to protect people. It's built to preserve capital, to shield politicians from consequence, and to punish those of us who've had enough of watching our neighbors die while billionaires build spaceships. These 6 individuals didn't break windows or light fires. What they broke was the illusion of change. That change can be neatly folded into decorum and handled with kindness. They showed up to make power uncomfortable, and that's exactly what protest is supposed to do. West Virginia doesn't suffer by accident. It suffers by design. In 2014, Freedom Industries dumped MCHM into the Elk River and poisoned the drinking water of 300,000 plus people. 10 years later, families across the state are still getting sick from what comes out of their taps, while Capito casts vote after vote to dismantle environmental protections and gut healthcare access. We ranked 49th in the nation for healthcare, and no one in the Capitol building is losing sleep over that fact. You think polite resistance is gonna fix this? It hasn't yet, and it never will. This state is where entire communities drive hours just to see a doctor, if they can even afford the visit. It's a place where black lung is still killing coal miners while their bosses receive tax breaks. Where rural whole hospitals are closing, addiction rates are rising, and our youth are being buried far too young. These are not isolated tragedies. They are the result of policy decisions made by people like Capito, people who smile at cameras while letting their constituents rot. So no, what those 6 did isn't criminal, it is necessary. When the law is a tool of oppression, resistance must come from outside it. Civil disobedience that doesn't interrupt business as usual is just theater. The kind of action that happened in that office, that's the only kind that's ever made real change in this country. Sitting down in that office wasn't just symbolism. It was about making sure someone in power had to look into the eyes of the people they're condemning. Fred Hampton said, "You have to understand that people have to pay the price for peace. If you dare to struggle, you dare to win." What those 6 people did was struggle. Not with hashtags or speeches, but with their bodies, their freedom, their refusal to comply. They knew they might be arrested. They still sat down. That alone is a lesson most of this country has forgotten. We don't need any more press conferences. We don't need safe little rallies tucked into the corners of public parks where nothing gets disrupted. What we need is more direct confrontation. We need more people willing to risk comfort, their record, and their safety to shut down a machine that's been grinding us into dust for generations. You want justice? You'll have to seize it. You want change? You'll have to make it hurt. This wasn't a performance. It was a warning shot. And it was only just the beginning.